You know, guys, in this high-stress, hectic world we live in, we all can be prone to, flying off the handle every now and again. Families, finances, friends, careers, they all create a perfect storm, even for some charming television host, like myself. Every now and again, leave the lessons of good decorum behind, and even if for a moment, stretch our legs a bit. Well, I'll tell you what, this morning we have some tips on how we can manage the mental melee, the lady who puts the Q into the title of Queen of Cotillion, Pamela Eyring.
Oh, Tyler, I've missed you. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Great, great.
Good.
Using my emotional intelligence today.
Yes, indeed. Let's talk about that EQ versus IQ. Tell me what that really, the EQ number, how do we get there?
Well, IQ was that intelligence factor, and
Right.
a lot of the world thought, if you have IQ, you're that intelligent, you're going to be an outstanding performer.
Sure.
But what they found in the 90s, around 1995, was that no, these people with average IQs who had emotional intelligence outperformed by 70% those with the highest IQs.
Sure, if Sheldon Cooper has taught us nothing, it's that, right?
Perfect example.
That someone who's brilliant sometimes lacks the ability to cope with the social day-to-day interactions.
Right, right. And it starts with, when we talk about emotional intelligence, with yourself first. Understanding your own emotions.
Right.
And then how you manage your own emotions. So we all have emotions. Sure. It's how we are aware of them. Are we feeling happy, sad, all those different emotions, and then how do we self-manage those? So when you were saying, when you're intense and stressed, and how do you identify that, and then what do you do about it?
So what do you do when you come into work and you're already in a bad mood because the dog ran away from you, you're late for work, you come in, it's a hot day and you're sweaty, and you got the coworker or somebody, you're just like,
yeah.
I mean, how do you maintain your professional acumen?
Right. Well, being self-aware starts at say, oh my gosh, I've had this worst day, and so when you walk into the office, realize I'm leaving this in the car.
Okay.
I'm just dumping this in the car. In fact, I'm going to throw it in the trunk, be done with it, and when I come in, I'm going to put on a smile, and that's called that self-management. That's where you transition from that emotion you just had and calm yourself. Sometimes you have to just take a moment.
You kind of hit the pause button.
Yeah.
Right.
Hit the pause button, stop for a moment, and go, okay, I'm not going to play this when I get into the office.
Right. In a professional setting, if that happens, is it acceptable to say, I've got to go powder my nose for a second? If you feel like that annoying little and you're like, you know what, I need a second.
Yeah, well, and it's like when you're trying to hold things in, sometimes it doesn't work that well.
Right.
And maybe you're emotional and you're upset and you're wanting to cry, for instance. And you don't want to cry in front of your coworkers, and you're just like, I'm just going to go get it out, go to the restroom, let it out, or shut my door. If I have a door, I'm just going to get it out, get it done. Get it out.
And then you realign and you come back in, you pull up your big girl pants, and you're good to go, right?
That's exactly what I do. How do you know that? Oh my God. She's so good.
Good stuff. Of course, we're going to put details at abccolumbia.com. Some other great tips. Put yourself in the other person's shoes, and things are a great way to do it too.
Yeah, and understanding the next part of emotional intelligence is understanding someone else's emotions. So we have some tips that we can share with you on that too.
Great stuff. Pamela Eyring from the Protocol School of Washington. Your emotional intelligence. I may not be able to spell Pennsylvania, but when it comes to hanging out, I'm good at that. Stay with us. We're coming back.